Greetings, my fellow vintage computer hardware collectors and preservationists. It's been a while since that Halloween special, and that almost took the life completely out of me. The KATT Games Master Keyboard. And of course I gotta read simply the best way to play it. Well, what it is, it's a very early MS-DOS targeted gaming keyboard. What a weird thing. I had to have it. This came out in '93. It's just like, I'd never heard of this thing until a month ago. So, yeah, I don't think this thing was real popular, and I don't think they made a lot of them. And this happened to be sealed. It's still in its shrink wrap. The shrink wrap's torn a few spots. Let's take a look at this thing. I'm going to do an unboxing, and then we're going to do a demonstration at the end, and I'll have an index below so you can skip through and not hear me talk the whole time. Look at this. World's first new product. Okay. First of all, that's a very bold statement. Obviously, it's two different fonts, so I finally figured out, I was like, wait a minute, they can't be serious. And then I realized, world's first new product. But they probably shouldn't have been in the same red box, because it actually looks like it's saying it's the world's first new product. No. What you'll notice here, though, is this looks like a point-of-sale keyboard, kinda, sorta, and it plugs into the AT keyboard's connector in back. So you don't need, it doesn't go into the joystick adapter. And it works like a keyboard. The difference is they've pre-programmed it with, right now, according to this list, 41 different games. So what you do on the side here is you punch in the code of the game from this list. I'm sure there's a manual, so I haven't opened it yet, so I don't know. And you punch that code in, and the LED will show what code you've punched in, and it'll program this keyboard for that game and for the overlay. Pretty darn cool. It comes with 6 overlays, 5 for games, and 6 is the QWERTY keyboard overlay. Now, I gotta show you something. Let's flip this over. They've got this very serious businesswoman typing here, and it says, can be used as QWERTY keyboard. No. Okay? No one is, I mean, I don't care how much you pay this lady. She's not going to do 8 hours a day of data entry on this thing. It's just not going to happen. It was a nice idea, and here is the overlay. See, the shrink wrap is a little torn there. That's fine. But there's the overlay. So they do have an excellent suggestion of an A/B switch. If you must have both connected at the same time, hook up an A/B switch sold separately. So that would probably be your best option. Interesting, they had plans, it looks like, for what is called a kid board mat, an overlay for kids. It had ABCs and fruits and vegetables on there. It's just for kids to play with. I don't think that was ever made, and that brings up another point. Let's flip this back over. We have 5 game overlays, but 41 games listed. So what the idea is for continued revenue, you bought this thing, you got the 5 overlays, and then you went and would purchase additional overlays. I'm guessing they had plans on packs, like maybe 5 games, 6 games at a time. They have 6 overlays here, probably 5 or 6 overlays per pack. Once again, complete guesswork, because none of these can be found from the few people who have found this thing, and from the research I've been doing online. No one can find additional overlays for this thing. I don't think they were ever made. I think it was a Wing Commander forum. They were looking for the Wing Commander overlay. But what I do have today, and you can see it to the right over there, is one of my favorite, I wouldn't say favorite, but out of the list of 5 games they have, I like this the most, which is Strike Commander. So we're going to give that a try. I suck at the game, but it's the only game I'm familiar with. I'm certainly not doing Falcon 3.0. You've got to be a real
smart, wonderful person
to like the Falcon series. I'm not criticizing. It's just not for me. And which brings up another point, too. You'll notice a lot of these overlays have pretty pictures. There's Aces of the Pacific, Comanche. The one we're going to play, Strike Commander, has a nice little... Notice Falcon doesn't have a nice little picture in the middle. And I'll tell you why. Because that game is so freaking complex. There's probably not enough buttons on this thing to cover all of it. Well, they probably cover the majority. And by the way, that's what the keyboard looks like without an overlay. They even encourage you to be portable with your chunky laptop in 1993. on that passive matrix screen, no thanks. Even more interesting is they had a slot on the back apparently, we'll take a look at that in a minute when we open it, to put an upgrade ROM chip. And I'm guessing, I don't even know, I'm not sure what kind of, we'll take a look. But what I'm guessing is you stick that in, and it adds more games probably to the list. It's from a company called Keyboard and Terminal Technology Incorporated USA. And let's see what else it says here. It says durable laminated mats. Now, if you go back as far as I do, I was preteen in the 80s. I was using, my first console was an Intellivision, Mattel Intellivision, and the Atari 5200, I think, yeah, the ColecoVision, I also had one of those. All three of those consoles had overlays on their controllers. They had like a calculator keypad underneath or on top, and you put your game overlay in, and you'd have these buttons. So it's a very similar idea here. What does it say? System requirements is 286, 386, 486. Pretty much anything with an AT keyboard, plug in the back, you're good to go. But let's see what else. Oh yeah, and then it has the lock mechanism to keep the overlay in place. The 5 overlays that come with it is Falcon 3.0, Comanche Maximum Overkill, which I think is the first Comanche, Aces of the Pacific, Microsoft Flight Sim 4, and of course Strike Commander, which we're going to play today. I'm just going to probably do a training mission because I really stink at the game. But yeah, let's open this up, let's take a look, and see what's included. Da-da-da. I don't know how many of these are left still sealed, but why not? Let's do it. It's very brittle, actually. It's in very good condition underneath. A few dents, but no big deal. Oh boy. Let's see. Luckily no tears. Yeah, it looks good. No, it's a little yellowed on that side, but no big deal. And it should just, ooh, it's taped. Oh, that sucks. So I'm gonna have to get a razor knife. Got the razor knife. I'll just carefully, this explains why it's a bit warped right here. I didn't realize the tape's pretty tight on both sides. It's too bad they taped it to the box, but that's okay. We'll just carefully cut it open here without damaging the box. Success! And I didn't destroy the box. Fantastic. Sliding out here. Here we go. I'm gonna put this off to the side. Oh, let's see what's going on here. This just it just comes undone. Ooh, that's kind of weird. I don't know if you can see that. I'm not even sure. Is that a powder? Ooh, that is a powder. What the heck? I'm not even sure what that is. Alrighty then. I'm going to clean that up in a minute. I'll be right back. We'll just say that was chalk, because that's what I'm hoping it was. And we shall continue. I did clean it off from that outer, there was a outer shell of cardboard there. This is the actual box it's in. I don't know if this is upside down or not. And it is! It's upside down! Yay! And there it is, brand new. Ooh. And there's our overlays. Look at those. Ooh, they're a little warped from sitting too long, but they're in perfecto shape. That's the keyboard overlay. So you can type in for 8 hours a day your database or spreadsheets. I'm sure Someone's gonna like need a serious beer after 8 hours of typing on this, but yeah. And there's the keyboard. Brand new. Fresh. Does it have that? No fresh plastic smell. I'm gonna open these in a little while. Oh, and I see how it locks in now. It has 2 notches here. And there's a lock mechanism on the keyboard, as I showed you earlier, that was shown on the box, so. Cool. Oh, that's interesting. It's keyboard, not QWERTY. Keyboard QWERT. All right. It's quirky. Okay. And there's a little styrofoam. Maybe that's more chalk. Man, this looks in great shape. Woohoo! This is exciting to open a new product like this. I want to be really careful. It feels kind of weird on the bottom here, and I'll show you in a minute. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this box. Go quick out of the shot. Oh. All right. Oh, that's safe. And yeah, it's pretty light. Let's see if I can open this. It's very thin. As you can see, there's not much to this. So just pretty light plastic. Let's see what kind of tape we got here. Yeah, I better. Oh, it's just coming off. The adhesive is wearing down after. Let's see, what is it? Almost 30 years of sitting. Sealed up. Look at that. Comes right off. What does that sticker say? I'll come out of the shot here for a minute. Pending approval. I suppose they mean their patent on this. Oh, and it has the kickstands. Now, what's this? That's different. Huh. I don't like the feel of this. I don't want to break it. So I will leave that there for now. And then here's that ROM chip upgrade. Please don't break. Ooh, that's really stiff. Oh, it's popping out. Check that out. Okay, cool. That is cool. So it's kind of like a BIOS chip almost, the size of it. So you, I guess, oh wow, that is not going to be, so you need a chip puller basically. And you got to crank that thing out and then put a new one in for a new set of games. You know what's going to happen. A kid's going to have this. They're going to bend all the pins. But hey, you know, they could have had a whole line of ROM chips with the games. And it's kind of interesting. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and seal that up. That's never getting changed out. Yeah, this front kickstand, that is just strange. Let me see something here. So, yeah, I know. It's probably not supposed to be this way. But I just don't understand the front kickstand. Let me put that, does that make it just elevated above and you just do it like that? I have to read the manual on what their intention was for that. Then the overlay just slips right in there, and then that locks it. And I guess, yeah, you pull back to unlock it, I see. So it just locks in place, and then you pull back to, and then slide it back out. Because you'll notice, let me put this to the side, this plastic. All the overlays have this tab at the bottom. I am not kidding you. Oh, I thought it was a human hair. It is not a human hair inside the plastic. It is I'm not kidding, I think it's a print flaw. It's like a red line, but I swear I thought it was hair, like hair in your food, right? But it is not. So that is a good sign. But it has this tab here, and then of course it sticks out here, and you just pull while you unlock there. Let's hope this doesn't all fall apart, but let me see how those buttons feel. Oh, they're kind of squishy. Yeah. Well, this looks pretty cool. Let's open this up. But here are the overlays. There's the QWERT keyboard. And these are fairly thick. They're what they do is they have a thick border around them, and then pretty thin in the middle, thin plastic. Okay. And you know, if you ever find one of these in the wild without the overlays, you can just watch this video and draw your own. Aces of the Pacific. Colors are really nice. I mean, they're really beautiful. See if they misspelled anything on that. Nope, doesn't look like it. It's kind of neat. Oh yeah, my favorite, Falcon 3.0. Look at that. I mean, that is crazy. How many buttons and controls. It's like a real jet fighter. Not really, I have no idea. There's Flight Simulator 4.0. There's not a whole lot of pretty pictures on that one either. They did fit a little plane in there. That's nice. But that's got a lot of controls too. I'm sure there's many more than that. The most important. Boy, they're going to keep the game we're playing last, aren't they? There's Comanche. By the way, one of my favorite helicopter sims. I really like Comanche 3. I think this is Maximum Overkill the first one? Pretty sure it is, but I think in '93 it is, but I'll have to look that up. I'm pretty uneducated on that. And then there is Strike Commander. That's the one we're going to play. Looking forward to that. And there's View Control. Oh, there's Eject. I didn't know. All this time, the entire 20 minutes I was trying to learn the game, I didn't know I could eject. That's why I died so much. Okay, cool. All right, that's the one we're going to be playing and using. Now, let's see what we got here. I'm hoping, look at that, operational manual. I'm going to need that, actually. I need to know how to operate something. What do we got here? Items available from Keyboard and Terminal Technology USA Incorporated. Ooh. So this is interesting. Let's take a look at this. Okay, so we actually get the pricing on this, guys. This is kind of cool. This product, I didn't know the price of it. This product, that's with the keyboard and the 6 mats, was $129.95. So this thing was $130. That's kind of cool that they included this. This kind of gives us a good history. And then each mat, additional mat, each one is $15, $14.95. That's expensive. We're talking $1993 here. So what is that, almost double? I am still not convinced that these were actually ever made. I'd love to hear from someone who was involved in the development of this to find out if they actually were. What do we got here? This is probably just warranty thing. Items available from, okay, so this, we're just seeing the same thing here that we just read. It just doesn't have a price. 90-day warranty, I'm way out of that, I think. And this is number 153. Nifty stuff, guys. And that's warranty form, ordering form. I'm not going to be filling that out. Okay. And then the operation manual. Let's find out. I got to find out what that front kickstand is. It can be used to slant at an angle, or Games Master Keyboard can be put on top of the standard 101 keyboard with the front, left, and right legs resting between the top 2 rows. Between the top 2 rows. Okay. We'll try that. So this, they were designing this, so if you, I guess what the idea is the front leg, this was to levitate over your existing keyboard if you were limited on desk space. So that's what that idea was with that. But there you go. All the info we need to know. Now we're going to have some fun. I'm going to work on this. Oh, and just to show this, it has a pretty long cable, and it's can stretch pretty long here, so that's cool. That's kind of nice. That the cable's plenty long, but as you can see, it's a standard AT style. It has it's a 5-DIN connector, so any AT computer is gonna, motherboard is gonna be able to accept this. But I've got to work on this. Okay, these go down pretty easily, but I honestly, I'm gonna have to look at this and put this down because I'm gonna end up breaking something if I don't do it right. So, update. I figured out how to get it down. It is, couldn't see it from this angle, but you squeeze these two together, Yep. There we go. You squeeze those two together and then it goes down. Next thing we're gonna do is hook this up and give her a whirl. I didn't pick up, well, one, I couldn't find one. A sealed copy of the original, and most of those are the floppy version. I guess there's a couple CD, but it is a lot cheaper to pick up this version. I think this is like 20 or 30 bucks sealed. Ooh, it is really stuck. But let's open this up. I'm sure this has been unboxed numerous times, but figured might as well get this unboxed and installed. Oh, look, it's all fresh and pretty. Now, this is interesting. When Strike Commander first came out, I remember I bought the floppy version, and it came with just Strike Commander, and the CD version is nice, and I believe GOG has this version. Remember, this is 1993. This machine probably came without a CD-ROM. I added one, of course. And so people were getting these multimedia kits, but in this transition period, the games were mostly still on floppy, so they'd have the main game, and then you could buy for another like 15, maybe 30 bucks the speech pack, because that was like really nifty gee whiz back then to have speech. And then of course you had the add-on missions or whatever, tactical operations. I don't think I ever played that. But the nice thing with the CD, it comes with everything. What else we got here? We got the registration card. Now the manual with the original floppy version, and maybe with the original CD version too. I'm not sure if there was an original CD version. Maybe there was, probably was. But I think the manual is much more elaborate than this. This kind of looks like a professionally photocopied version. It's a little bit bigger and thicker, if I'm not mistaken. And let's see what else we got. They want me to pay 10 bucks for the playtester's guide. Nope. Not even in $1993. And let's see. And oh yeah, of course, Windows 95. When this was released, this re-release, 95 was really new. And they're just telling you how to run the DOS game in Windows 95. And that, my friends, could be a real trick with some games, I'll tell you. Okay, so I'm gonna get this installed. Actually, I'll just leave the box open. Remove the knife so I don't cut myself. Stab my hand. Let's see. Let's turn on the monitor. Now, this has the only way to turn this computer on. Where is it? Is from the back. And I actually have a 6 gigabyte IDE hard drive in here. The BIOS on this motherboard only supports up to 504-ish megabytes. And I'm lazy. I'm not going to use drive overlay. So it's a 6 gig drive formatted to 504 megabytes. I'm not going to need more than that on this. This is going to be mostly, this machine, I'm mostly doing disk imaging. Specifically, obviously I can image 3.5 no problem with the USB, but they don't make a USB version of this. Now they have some adapters out there, and they've got some limitations. Some can read only and not write. Others can, I don't know what all the limitations are, but if you're into software preservation at all, it's nice to have a machine, a little small machine like this for me, to image 5.25 images. So this is what its main purpose is, just to image floppies. And let's go ahead, we're going to do disk 1. And that pops open. Are my hands clean here? Yes. I'm going to pop this in. And it should suck it in. Goodbye. See you in a minute. Well, let's get Strike Commander installed. Real quick like. I did run into DOS wanting to be DOS and it complaining about conventional memory. So let me type that out. and I actually cracked open the manual to Strike Commander. I think it's the first time I've ever read anything out of that manual in the 30 years since I've owned the game. But popped in that EMM 386 line there, and now it works just fine. I'll tell you, I've forgotten most of this stuff. I remember, you go to D here, we'll run the install. I remember I'd have to set up a menu back in the early 90s to load up different configurations for different games. I do not miss those days. Are you satisfied? No, I'm not. No sound cards installed, so we're going to go through this process. C drive, yes. And this computer I picked up a couple months ago, had a generic multimedia kit installed. Got rid of the CD-ROM, put in that CD changer, but sound card's fine. It's some type of ESS. I think it's an ESS 1868. Don't know what brand card, but Sound Blaster Pro is all this game's going to do for digital. I don't have a wavetable card, so it'll be FM music. I do not have a local bus video card, but thank you, Retro PC User, supplied me with a fast ISA. I think it's a Diamond Speed Star of some sort. So we're going to live on the edge, and say, yes, I have one. I'm satisfied. Those poor single spin users. Remember them? 150K a second was their world, and this wants to copy the executables over because that's a little bit slow, and I know, of course we're going to. Anyway, even though I have a quad speed, because hard drive is always faster. And then 8 meg file over if you're 4 meg RAM. We've got 32 meg RAM, but we're still going to copy it over, obviously because hard drive is going to be faster again. Can you imagine being a single spin 4 meg person? You pity those souls. But to even going to warn us during installation how big that 8 meg file is, I suppose, you know, there were some holdouts in the early 90s. You had a 386 with a 40 meg MFM drive, and that very big file right there would take about a quarter of your drive up, so I guess they had to keep warning you, watch out. But I can't imagine running this game on a 386. It's not going to be a happy experience. You're going to turn everything down. It's going to look like a couple of polygons floating on your screen. And then this is kind of interesting. I didn't read the readmes. I had the floppy version. I didn't have the CD version, so I didn't know these things. Apparently, the CD version, which we have here, has a mini game during load time where you can Pong style hit the CD that's floating around the screen. And then I did not know that you could hit Control-I to get rid of the cockpit, which takes up a lot of screen real estate. And it's SC on the floppy version. Apparently on the CD version here it's SCCD. Okay, so I'm going to be a responsible DOS user, and as recommended by most games of the era, I am going to defrag the drive, and I always use the ON. That's order by name, and that organizes all the directories and files in alphabetical. And I'll show you, for an OCD person like me, this makes the universe align, and look how pretty that is. So cool, we've got it installed, and now let's see what this cool KATT Games Master Keyboard can do. Okay, we have it hooked up and powered on. Everything seems to be lighting up properly. That's good news. Got the LED telling us what overlay is enabled right now, and of course we dial that in right here. Like if we're going to do Strike Commander, what is it, 38? Actually, I'm going to wait on that because I want to show you something. Stability issues. I've got it set up like we were talking about earlier with the front kickstand down, and we're floating it over the existing keyboard because of cramped desk space, and that's what it was designed for. So they want us, according to the manual, to wedge it like that in between the keys there. There's 2 of them, and then of course the front kickstand, and then it just gotta floats over your existing keyboard. Kind of a cool design, especially if you have a small desk. Stability, not bad here. If you're while we're playing, it's pretty solid actually. But when you're punching in the code for the overlay, yeah, you're gonna want to hold it with one hand here, and then the other hand punch it in. Now I'm holding the camera here, so I can't do that. But I'll show you what I mean. Let's see, 38 is Strike Commander, I believe. So see that? I'm not hurting anything, but and there we go. And it's kind of unstable over here, but for playing the game, yeah, no problem. And I'm actually surprised. I thought it would have some give to it because it's such thin plastic. It does not. It actually is very solid. So nice surprise there. Now, a couple of things. You probably noticed this already. I did not. Let me pull the box up here. The sticker that's on it, and by the way, that's, I don't know if that's from the factory. Can you see that? Let me make sure it's focused. It's kind of bubbling up. That may be because it's been sitting in a box for 30 years. But there are some manufacturing flaws, which I will show in a minute. But the sticker on the box shows Game Master. I think that sticker looks cool with the silver lettering, black background. But what you get is this sticker. Silver background, black text. It's fine, but it's not the same as on the box. But the other thing I noticed is there is definitely some manufacturing, and it's just the way the plastic was molded. But there are some. Let me see if I can get this stable here. There are some a dimple here, but you can really see it down here. Here, there, and there. And this is where the overlay goes in. Not a big deal. That was from the factory like that. And like I said, it's pretty thin plastic, so that's probably the problem. This is actually kind of a cool idea. I just wish they had, especially for 130 bucks, I just wish they had been a little bit better solid construction. But I think it actually looks pretty cool. And we're going to get the overlay installed here in a minute and get the game up. So at least it works. Now I'm going to slip in the first overlay. I'm going to do the QWERTY keyboard, or as they call it, QWERT keyboard overlay, because I have some commands to type in before we get the game going. And since it's warped from being in the box so long, these I just stick up. So I first have to press down here and get it under that lip, and then it won't go anymore for that clip to grab those two notches because that's sticking up as well. So I have to lift this up, press down, and now it slips in. So it's a little tricky because of the warping from age, and there it is. And let's type some commands in and see how that feels. Okay, well, let's give this a try. I gotta type some commands in. I can't have both keyboards hooked up because I don't have a switch box. So let's see how great this is to type on. First thing I gotta do is, I notice the game has no menu option to adjust the music, and it's a little loud over the digital sound effects. So I'm gonna change the sound card settings, and let's see, I have a folder. Oh, duh, I can't type until I set it to the overlay, and that is code 2. So let me hold it with this side, 0, 2, enter. And I noticed something when you stick it in this mode, it does relay to the PC speaker every time you hit a button, because that can get annoying, but luckily we're not going to type on this much. Let's see, so C, D, and here's the trick. You know, I want to hit spacebar. I'm hitting a lot of dead space between those little buttons underneath, but you know, the overlay makes you think, you know, your mind plays tricks on you, thinks, oh, that's just a spacebar. Nope, you got to hit those into it. So this is never going to work on a day-to-day basis, no way. But anyway, see, space, and I have it under, and by the way, you really got to press them. Yeah. This doesn't give me a lot of confidence this is going to work great for a game either, but we'll find out in a minute. Okay, so I made a folder named Send. Look at the enter. It's 4 buttons. Boom, 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 boom. You want to hit that center, don't you? Well, you're out of luck. Okay. Now, ESSVOL is the utility, and it's going to show us in the, you can see the wave and the synthesizer MIDI basically is at 8. I want that down to 5 on the music. It's a little tricky on hitting the shift and then a letter here, so 5. Okay, that's set, and then we'll just double check that. And there it is. Now it's 8 on the digital, 5 on the MIDI. yes, I could set that. And then I'm kind of going on a tangent here. This has nothing to do with this keyboard, but it kind of shows you what it's like to type on it. It's not great. It's bubbling up a little bit too, because you know it got a little warped. It's kind of funky. Let's see. But what is good, you notice it's pretty stable when you're typing in this area. The center of gravity is good here. It's just over here that's pretty bad. Oh, enter, sorry. And you can see I could actually adjust those settings automatically, but for the most part, most games have a way to change those settings in-game. This one does not, so I had to set it manually. So with that said, not great to type on. No way I would use this day to day. This is a nice afterthought. You know what this is? This is if you don't have a switch box and you need to type in something quick and dirty, throw the overlay in, start typing, and get out of it as fast as possible and punch in your game. That's kind of what this is for. And plus, if you use this day to day, you know this overlay is just going to wear out. It's going to start fading out, you know, from all the typing very quickly, like most overlays do. So, but it was a nice addition. I would have preferred to see 6 games instead of 5 in this, but I get it. So, all right, off to Strike Commander. I'm pretty bad at this game. I'm pretty bad at most flight simulators, and this device seems to be, at least the games that it has on its factory installed chip, is mostly geared towards flight simulators. Let's go ahead and slip in Strike Commander here, the overlay. This is the only one I'm going to be using. I'm going to keep the other 4 games untouched. I try to not use as much as possible. Let's see. Get that in there. There it goes. And now, it's locked in place. Now, it does have a little give here. I've noticed that it lines up with the buttons pretty well, but you could miss them. Oh well. See what happens. Let me plug in, let's see, code 38. I'm holding it on the other side with my other hand so it doesn't move. Okay, so it's in. Now, it's in the cutscene right now. I have no idea. I've tried multiple buttons. The first time I was trying this off camera, trying to figure this out, and I can't figure out how to get out of the cutscene with any of these, so I have to actually, let me dial in the QWERTY keyboard. Whoops, I gotta clear that. Then put into, I know that eject is escape on that overlay. We'll get out of the clear. And then 38. Okay. And we're just going to do a training mission. I mean, I really do suck at this game on a regular keyboard. And I don't know if this is going to make it any easier, but we'll find out. But I'll tell you what, if it makes it any harder, this is going to be a pretty boring watch. Search and destroy. Yes, let's do that. And accept. And then we're going to load up here some missiles. Anti-runway bomb. Sure, why not? I think I put 3 on there, and then the Maverick. Yeah, I think I need that for, there we go, we're loaded up. Let's try this, flying this mission. And this is going to control the plane here, and we get the rudder. Okay, here we go. And now, where is autopilot? There it is over here. Okay, so let's shoot the autopilot. Oh, there's the anti-aircraft gun. I always get killed by that thing, so let's see if I can avoid that. And I'm trying to find this stupid airport. I don't even know where it is. Radar should be showing up on radar here soon, right? Let me try to shoot the warehouse with a missile. Weapon select. Oh, great. Okay. About to crash. Try to lift up here. And fire. Should be locked on. Yeah, there it goes. I think I crashed. No, I didn't. Okay. Had to load the explosion from CD-ROM. Gotta love that. Now, I just found out after installing this, I can copy the CD contents, and it will work anyway. A lot of games, even if you copy the CD contents over to the hard drive, it would still read from the CD-ROM, but I guess in the manual you can copy it, but it takes, they said, most your hard drive at 150 megabytes. And in this case, they're right, because I only have 500 megabytes in there. Yeah, I've got auto aim, auto target, auto everything going on here, because I really suck, and I'm on rookie. We have a very large object in front of us. I have no idea what it is. Not sure what my mission is. I'm not even sure how to get my mission. As soon as I see something I can blow up, that's my mission. Ah, it's behind me, I see. Of course it is. So let's try out. I just got shot down. Okay. Well, that was fun. Yeah, oh, I'm supposed to eject, aren't I? Ah, too late. I'm dead. Okay. Ooh, look at that. Texture warping. Come on. Get ready to fire. Come on. And shoot something. I am gonna wreck, aren't I? I am. Okay, I'm dead. I am the worst fighter pilot on Earth. Fire. Fire. I'm an idiot. No. Hey, that's cool. I shot the missile, took out the tower. The missile missed the tower, but I took the tower out with my plane. I've got all the G-force, sun glare, all that turned off. It's the last thing I need while trying to battle this keyboard, is to battle other things. So we got the target. Maverick's locked on, I think. Here we go. Take a steep turn. Dive, dive. There it is below us, and fire. Let's see if we can hit it. Well, it's kind of self-guided, so I don't think we're gonna miss it. And we took it out. I think I'm satisfied. I'm not a complete failure. Right off into the sunset. Yeah, guys, I gotta be honest. It's kind of fun to look at. It's neat with the LED. It's kind of a neat design. The overlays are cool. The artwork's cool. But you know what it is? It would have been cool, kind of like like an Intellivision or a ColecoVision, where it had maybe a joystick or some kind of controller on the side with some buttons, and then this was just secondary. Like you could use this as a control panel for different functions. Now, we're not done. One last thing. So here we are with Falcon 3.0 installed on the keyboard. Why is that? Because there are no overlays for this thing for a FPS. And I thought, why not give it a shot? So I picked out of the 5 overlays what has the best layout for that, and Falcon 3.0 happens to have 2 sets of arrow keys that are kind of close to what I would use. So why not? So code 9. I'll hit enter. And yes, folks, we're gonna go ahead. We'll put it up on the screen here. We're gonna go ahead and give Doom a shot. Why not? I don't think this is gonna go well. And I found out that, let's see, eject is fire. And what is open the door? Fire. So fire is open the door, and eject is fire. Okay, so. Alright, so it's not too bad. It's really, you know what's really weird about this keyboard? It's really hard to keep the key pressed. See that? How it, it's not as terrible as I thought. You know what? I actually think this works a little bit. It's still not playable. There's no way. Yeah, I'm going to be in a tournament with this thing. It's still, though, better than what Strike Commander was. Okay, now that is fire. Yeah. This isn't winning any awards either. Okay, let's see. Yeah, and it's hard to turn and move forward at the same time. Yeah, I don't think you can. Oh yeah, you can. All right, so it's just difficult. Yeah, oh man, this is tough. And it doesn't help that the overlay keeps sliding ever so slightly. So yeah, this is, wow. Okay, so I'm just gonna run through here. Yeah, screw you guys. Let's see if I can just finish the level. Okay, fire. Okay, come on, come on, come on. Fire, fire, fire. Okay, get through there. Oh my god, that was exhausting. Yeah, I think I'm done here. That's all I needed to see. And there's nothing to see here. And we're done. Okay. Timeout. So, I couldn't get, I could barely play this game on it. This is going to be great for a museum to have on display, or, it's a curiosity piece. But as far as practicality of actually using this thing in real gaming scenarios, I think it's a cool idea. I think this could actually work even today. I think the overlay idea is kind of cool. It's just, I wish it had been a little bit better build quality and definitely a more responsive keypad on it. It would have been a huge bonus. Still, I'm glad I picked this up. I've never seen it before. Glad I got to demonstrate it at least. And there it is, the KATT Games Master Keyboard.